Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. You are welcome to Sunday Night Live. As usual, I am your host, Oribi Edmond Tamnavo, and I am so glad that you guys are watching today. Okay, so today is a segment we're titling Couples Chat. And in the season of Valentine's, this is the Valentine's month. Typically, people choose this month to basically emphasize love and romance, okay? But what does that look like in that Christian, godly, holistic context? And you know, we're all about that biblical perspective here. Jesus is love. God is love. As the institution that describes and, you know, basically showcases and shows to the world what love really looks like is the institution of marriage, okay? And so I've got two couples here who recently got married. So they are young couples. And I think this is a segment that would be so beneficial for those of us who are newly married, those of us who are single like a Pringle, okay? And just to learn from these people that are just starting this journey. Some other time I'll probably bring people who are, you know, mature in their marriage, journey, so that we can hear perhaps new perspectives. But today we've got two couples here, and I would love them to introduce themselves. Can I start with the Akanle household? Can you guys introduce yourselves, please?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Abimbola Akanle, and here with me today is my beautiful, lovely wife, Omomi Adedeji. It's nice to be here.
Wonderful. Omomi, can you just say hi, give us a wave?
Hi.
Hello, wonderful. So that's the wonderful, beautiful Omomi. And can I also ask your Gwanle household to introduce yourselves?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. My name is Samuel Gwanle, and this is my lovely wife, Oluwadara Gwanle. And we're happy to be here. Thank you for hosting us.
Wonderful. Hi, Dara. Nice to meet you. Samuel, nice to meet you. I'm so happy that you guys have, given us some hours of your day, to be here. Really, really appreciated. So finally, you're here. And I hope you guys have that piece of paper I told you to bring, because we're about to play a little ice-breaking game to get the body moving, get your mouth moving, get your hands tinkering so that you're ready for our chat today. Okay, so let me see, how many questions do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10 questions, can I choose the one household to give us a random number? Pick a number.
5.
5? 1, 2. Okay, okie dokes. So, it's an interesting question. Who is likely? That's fine, Omomi, as far as you're here. So, who is likely to wake up grumpy in the morning? And the idea, hold on, you write your answer down, and I don't know how this is going to happen. No looking, everyone write your answer. Nobody's meant to see. And you show me. Yes, so you write down the name of the person, and then we'll find out who wrote who. Is that okay? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Samuel and Dara, your time is up. What is the answer? Who is likely to wake up grumpy in the morning?
Can I go first?
Yes, please. Okay, so that's Dara. Okay, Dara, what's your answer? Oh, okay, wonderful. So that you're the one. Okay, so you guys know yourselves very well. FYI, I'm also very grumpy waking up in the morning. So I relate with you. I'm not that kind of morning person, so you're not alone, sis. Okay, so the next question, number 5 is taken. So can I ask the next couple pick a question?
Do I go
Time's
first?
ticking.
7.
7. Wonderful. So number 7. Number 7. If you could pick an animal, to be, what would that be? So quickly write your answers down. Mommy, you can drop that in the comment section as well. Since for technical issues we can't see you. Okay. All right. One answer has been given. Bimbo, what's your answer? Oh, okay, lion. Okay, I see. So both of you guys are in sync. Interesting. Okay, wonderful. So, Mr. Samuel and Mrs. Adara, please give us another number.
You pick this one.
2, please.
Number 2. Okay. Number 2. Who is a better singer?
Okay. It depends.
Okay.
It depends because if you're talking about local songs and certain local eulogies, then I'll give it straight to my wife.
Okay.
She's just amazing in that. All of us music genre, I would just say maybe me. I'm not sure. Let's hear out.
Are you in agreement?
Yeah, when it comes to music, it's more music inclined.
Okay.
He teaches music, he plays instruments,
yeah,
ministers. But then when it comes to singing, traditional songs,
yeah,
that's more of my life. So both sing, but it's more of the music person. So I would say him for this question.
Okay. So basically, this is the musical household we're talking about right now. Okay, wonderful. That's really nice. All right, next question goes to Bimbo and Mumi.
Nine.
Number 9. Okay. It's an interesting question, this one. Who is likely to take longer in the shower?
Very simple.
What's the answer?
Yeah. Bimbo.
Bimbo, are you serious? Wow. Talk about self-care. Okay. So Samuel and Dara, you're up next. What question are you picking up?
Just mention that.
So number 5, I think so. That's number 5. I'm sure everything is number 5. 9 has been taken.
7 has been taken as
and
well.
7 has been taken.
And 2 as well.
Yeah.
Question 1.
Okay, dokes. So the next question. Oh, this is interesting. So question 1. In a race, who's likely to win? Some women will surprise you.
That's true. Some women will surprise you. Well, in this case, no surprises.
For now.
For now. Oh, very good. I like that comeback. For now. No condition is permanent. Okay. Next question. Okay, so that's us with so number 1's gone, 2 is gone, 5, 7, and 9 is gone.
3.
So number 3. Okay, this could be fairly easy. Can you tell? Okay, so basically, Wumi, what is Bimbo's favorite food? And Bimbo, what is Wumi's favorite food?
Bimbo likes plantain and egusi.
Plantain and
Egusi.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so in case nobody knows, so if we've got locals here, these are Nigerian dishes, egusi and plantain. They don't really always go together, so this is an interesting mix. Okay, I like that. I mean, I like plantain, and I really like egusi. I will try that. I
think I'll request for that as well. Maybe Mountain can cook that.
You know what's up?
That combo is
Very nice. That combo is super.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
Me too. But these are two. It actually could go work. Right. So
The idea is if you love
Bimbo, what's Wumi's favorite meal?
put them together.
Is it on ripe plantain or ripe?
No, ripe plantain, fried ripe plantain.
Ripe. He doesn't like too ripe plantain, so just
Ripe plantain with egusi.
Very nice choice. Let's go.
Oh wow.
My wife on the other hand likes yam and fried eggs.
Okay. Is he correct, Wumi?
very correct.
Incorrect.
Very, very correct. Very correct.
Oh, very, very correct. Oh, wow. She even said very to emphasize. Wonderful. Wow. Okay. So that is number 3 gone as well. So Samuel and Dara, give us your number.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
4? Okay,
Okay.
number 4. Okay, number 4. Samuel, what's Dara's favorite color? And Dara, what's Samuel's favorite color?
Dara's favorite color is white.
White. Okay. Dara, what's Sam's favorite color? Blue. Okay. Are you guys? Be honest. Before God.
Yeah. Blue and white, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Wonderful. Right. So not much numbers left for you guys.
8. Number 6.
Numbers.
There's 6, there's 8 and 10. So
No,
did I hear
no.
6?
Yeah, 6.
Number 6, okay. You guys picked an interesting question. Like if I know in the same location. Write your answers down. Dara, I'm sorry. Wumi, please, you can text that. You can put that down in the chat because I do recognize that you're having lighting issues.
Yeah.
Who is likely to notice? Yeah, so who is likely to notice a change in one's appearance quicker? Okay. Wumi. Okay, wonderful. So it's Wumi that can notice slight changes in one's appearance more. Okay. Bimbo, you have work to do.
You are not alone, brother. You are not alone.
Thank you.
Okay.
See, it's work in progress. Yeah.
It's a female thing.
Maybe it's a female thing, actually. You're actually right. You're probably very right. Wow. Okay, so we've got number 8 left. And we've got 4 is taken as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what numbers are you picking? I think you've got
8 or 10.
8 or 10, yeah.
Go for it.
10.
10,
Number
please.
10. Okay. Okay. Just honest question. It's not too hard. Relax. Don't worry. Samuel, you need to answer for Dara. Dara also needs to answer for you this question.
Okay.
Jollof rice or fried rice? Which one will your partner choose?
She'll choose fried rice.
Is it correct? No.
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
The thing is, I would have chosen fried rice, but I've been to places where the fried rice is not, there's a way you cook fried rice that is. But jollof rice, most people can just work their way around it. So to be on the safe side, I always go for jollof rice. It's usually always tastes nice, but fried rice can taste nice.
It's a hit or miss. Yeah.
So
wonderful.
It's been jollof rice.
Okay. All right. And what do you think for Samuel? Jollof rice or fried rice?
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
You're wrong.
It's jollof rice.
She's right, it's jollof rice.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, nice. So that leaves number 8 for Bimbo and Wumi. So that question is that's a really nice question actually. So what is your partner's ideal holiday location?
Bye.
Yeah. So ideal holiday location. What would that be?
Can we just say it out?
Wait. Yeah. You just say it out now. So, Wumi, I'll start with you because you have this interesting smile. What do you think is Bimbo's ideal holiday location?
I think it's village.
Okay, is she right?
My village is pretty cool. So yeah.
No, but what would have been the answer, the ideal answer?
We've talked about this severally, so we kind of have somewhere in mind. I would say maybe like Zanzibar or somewhere.
Zanzibar. Ooh, okay. Nice. Wow. Okay.
I know that's definitely hers anyway.
Is that yours?
Yes, not him.
Okay.
He's always talking about his village.
Okay, so I guess you guys have learned something new now, right? Wonderful. This has been really fun, and I hope you guys, the audience, also enjoyed it as well. So bear with me. We're just going to go on a short break, and we'll be right back for more of our chats. See you.
Are controversies a good or a bad thing? Why are there controversies in the Church of God? And does that mean that God is not clear in his expectations of us as his people? Do controversies leave you confused and wondering? How do we know we're doing the right thing? All these questions and more will be answered in Dr. Mark Igehon's book, 10 Tests for Testing Controversies in the Churches of God. This book is a guide for today's Christian faced with both internal and external controversies which can challenge their faith and cause them to walk the wrong path.
The book is motivated from the fact that this generation, like many other generations, is faced with so many controversies. Controversies within the body of Christ, within the church internally, and controversies outside the body of Christ, in society, in government, in the globe, but which have a direct impact on the faith. And of course, because these controversies are the way they are leading many people into error.
This book will clarify and answer all questions based on the ultimate source of answers, that is, the Word of God, which is beyond any human opinion or judgment. The answers found in this book will be useful for instructing our young people and clarify any confusions they might be experiencing from the influences and opinions of those outside the church, as well as internal questions they might have which can destabilize their faith and beliefs.
So the intention then of the book is to provide a simple basis for testing every controversy. There are 10 tests, 10 questions which build up your faith, give you much fun, and at the end of the day, you all come to a very simple and common understanding that gives a sound answer to every question, every controversy. So I commend the book to you. You will have fun using. I would love to hear from you as well too as you use this book.
You can get a copy of 10 Tests for Testing Controversies in the Church of God from the Church Bookshop at Jesus House, City of God, 20 Holborn Street, Aberdeen, AB 10 6BT, or you can call 012 245 88.
Wonderful. You are welcome to Sunday Night Live. That was just a short break on the 10 tests for testing controversies by our resident Pastor Dr. Mark. It's an interesting book, and definitely we'll be having a review on that sometime this year on that book. But yeah, you are welcome to Sunday Night Live, and this is Couple Chats, and I have with me Bimbo Okonle and his wife Momi, and we have Samuel Okonle and his wife Dad Simi, and we just had some fun. Breaking the ice, asking questions, getting to know each other, and finding out things that we'll probably know about each other. You know, I'm sure they can testify to that. So, yes, that then brings us to the more interesting, the juicy stuff. I mean, that's what we're here, right? We want to know, these guys, you're married. You know, how did I even begin? How did I even start? For single people like me, let me be honest. I'm the host, but I'm the one I'm even more curious. I don't know about you guys, but if you are curious, join me. Right, so please, let's take our mics off. We're going to come down to it very soon. I think my first question that I would love to ask both couples, you know, you have your turn, is how did you meet? How did you meet? So I will start with Samuel and Dara. Just share your story. How did you guys meet?
All right. So, interesting question. We met approximately 12, 13 years ago. And we met at the teenage church.
Oh.
Where we both grew up. We started as just normal friends.
Yeah.
We were quite close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just to summarize it, that's where we met at the church.
You guys met as teenagers in a youth gathering in church.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so that means you've essentially known yourselves for 12 years.
Yeah, about 13 years now. Yeah, that's right.
13 years. Wow. When did the courting begin?
Courting began 4 years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Wonderful. Wow. Oh, okay, I see. And were you guys in the same place? How did that work? What was that like, transiting from perhaps just being friends into that courting phase?
It wasn't easy. Because we were very close, we were best of friends.
Okay.
And for years it was like she didn't see the path that I was seeing. But you know, I kept pressing and I kept pressing on and I kept pressing on until she finally said yes. And when she said yes, it was easier for me to, you know, for us to do whatever we want to do. And because we've been friends for a long time, transiting was not so difficult because at the end of the day, it's still friendship that continues. But then with the aim of with something you're looking forward to. Let me just do it that way. So as normal friends, if you're friends with someone, you're really not looking forward to anything. But when we transited, it was the fact that, oh yes, we're looking forward to this. That's what made the difference.
Yeah. So because you were looking forward to marriage, so that that kind of was laced around this new phase of your relationship, friendship, but moving forward to actually building a family together?
Yes,
It was easier for you because you guys were best friends.
yeah.
All
A
right.
lot of persons actually even thought we were dating before we started dating.
Oh, I see.
So
Wow.
we have to keep telling them, well, it's nothing, we're just friends. There was a
Yeah.
time my mom drove him away from my house. Then when we were still teenagers, maybe like 20. So my mom was like, you always keep coming to our house. Is this how you go to all the ladies, the females? This is how you go and visit them? Or it's
Yeah.
just my daughter? And then he was like, it's just her, we are friends, and if it's just passing, it just branches. My mom
Yeah.
said too frequent. Like
I should stop it. Don't
Oh,
come.
she was scared because she was like, can a guy? And actually, then we didn't have any. We're just very close and pure, like very nice friends. We didn't have any ulterior motives or maybe doing stuff. We were very open and all. But then it's like the closeness was the closeness people notice in people that are
in
dating.
relationships. Yeah.
Actually, I was not even. I gave him a little of time. It was not my spec then.
Mm.
It was not my spec. So I was like, fella, don't put your mind. So we're just friends. But we play a lot, but then nothing more. But he started seeing the light first. And I was like, see, the fact that we are close friends does not mean
Yes.
good as, and then you've had a lot of stories about some people, because they are very close, decided to take it a step further, and then they even spoiled the friendship itself.
Yes,
Because,
I have heard about things like that.
yeah,
Where
so
people are afraid to launch into a more serious relationship because they're afraid of something spoiling the friendship in the first place.
Yeah. So I was like, this might be our case. Maybe at the end of the day, taking a step further might end up spoiling the old friendship we even had. It might be, so at the end of the day, to be a lose-lose. The friendship will spoil, then the courtship you even wanted will still not work. So I was like, let's just stay where we are. Then he left, came back again, came back again, and got to a point. So actually, those times I wasn't taking him seriously. I didn't pray. I didn't ask God if he's the one, because in my mind, I'm like, he's not the one. So it was like maybe the third or fourth time.
Fourth time.
The fourth time, okay, because Samuel was counting, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It was counting. I didn't know it was that much until he told me it was the fourth time. But I knew it was like the last time or the second to the last time. I was like, let me even take it a bit serious. Let me pray about it. Because I had other persons on the list. So
competition.
Who I was up against.
Yeah,
those ones were nearer to my spec than he was. So it was more like, let me just add him to the list. Let's see how far it can go. And because he was my friend anyways, I was just like, let's see. Then at the end of the day, it happened, the lot fell on him. So it was lucky.
Yes, that's the way it should be. The blessings of God. God blessed him with you,
Yeah, right. The hand of God was upon me.
The hand of God was upon me. Favor.
Yeah.
Wow. Samuel, what must have looked like for you trying not just the first time, second time, third time, fourth time? Were you tired? At the fourth time, were you like, if this doesn't go through, I'm just going to...
The first time I had to put it out there that if it doesn't go through, then maybe that's going to be the end. But I still had it in my mind that maybe I'll try again, because I was confident. I was confident she will be the one. So, I mean, we can continue with the stories, but yes.
I want you to pause there because we'll come back to that. But wow, okay, I find it so. See, sometimes by popular belief, we think my guys, they don't know what they want. Say, yeah, you actually find some guys that don't really know what they want, but when they are able to know, there's no confusion, there's no wavering. And I think this is a good way for ladies out here to decipher the guys that are actually ready to be married and the ones that just they want to be baby boys for this season of their lives. You don't need to join them, just know them so that you can just shift one side.
Yeah.
Away, no. And you will tell, and always ask the Holy Spirit to give you, illumination, wisdom, so that you can be able to see, okay, this one is serious, this one is looking for, he's trying to enjoy himself. All right, cool, no problem. I will come back to you guys, but now it's time for Bimbo and Wumi to share their story. First question: how did you guys meet? Anyone can go first.
I think
Yeah.
we go first.
Yeah. Ladies first. Is that what's happening?
Okay.
Okay.
The first time I met Bimbo was our GSS1. We attended the same secondary school briefly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw him, like, I was just seeing him every day. It's not like in fact, I never talked to him till he left the school. But the only thing I could remember about Bimbo then was our fine art teacher once coded me because of his artwork. It was an assignment. So when it was time for us to have our own art class, because it was in 1A, yeah, I was in 1B. So he kind of took his own artwork like this, that, is he not somebody that drew this one? I saw it like this too. Like that. I was like, I don't even know this person. Yes, he knows how to draw, but I don't know how to draw. So just accept, but that's the only thing. I never talked to Bimbo in JSS1. I never did till he left, because he left JSS2. He relocated. So that was it. And I didn't hear anything about him again till I think we chatted on Facebook 2012, but it was just like, because I never talked to this person in school. So it was just hello, bye-bye. So in 2017, yeah. So checking my messages on Facebook, I don't know, I guess I was very bored that day, because I wouldn't just go on Facebook and be checking previous messages and all. So I kind of saw his message. He sent it 5 years ago.
5 years?
As at 2017. I was like, oh my God, I know this person. Oh, let me repeat. It doesn't even make sense. I should have just ignored, like, 5 years ago. So I think he said, how are you? I was like, fine. And then you replied immediately too. I was like, you're replying after 5 years and all, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Then we started talking from 2017. We started talking every day. Though me, I didn't see my anything because we're just talking. But it was becoming like too much. I was like, Shay, why you messaging me every day? Like, is this how you message me for everything? Although we're still good friends, but I was just wondering, like, why? Even if we are friends, don't message me every day. So although I said that to him, but I was just wondering why he was around every day.
Yeah.
I think that was July 2017. Then November 2017, one night like this, I said, Umi, I would like to take this friendship to the next level, blah, blah, blah.
Wow. Okay.
And that was how I started, basically.
Okay.
And let's briefly in secondary school, reconnected back after 5 years.
Okay. And did you guys, within the time where you accepted to take the relationship further, had you guys met in the same place, or have you guys been virtual for most of your courting?
No, I was in Russia. It was in Nigeria.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen in like 12 years or so.
Yeah.
But it was very somehow, but I don't know how it happened. No.
Yeah. This is interesting. Wow, a relationship through the digital world. And some people think it's impossible for that to happen, but you guys are a fruit of that happening? And what was courting like during this period?
Bimbo, do you want to go?
Yeah,
I think I want to hear Bimbo today.
So like Wumi said, we started talking, and I think the key was that we became close friends quite quickly, even though we hadn't really been close friends beforehand. And so from our discussion, we found out that we had, similar interests or like values, especially. I'd say we probably found out we had similar values, and then some interest here and there. And sort of, we sort of got to know each other a lot better.
Yeah.
But it was tough, because it was long distance, right? And so the only way we could communicate was over, calls or chats, these kind of things. But at some point that ended, and I was glad. So she came back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
I was in Nigeria at the time, and we met up. I think she was surprised for some reason. She said, "I thought you were taller." I don't know what that means. So in my mind, I'm like, forget about it. But I mean, yeah, that's probably something you might want to, factor in as well, that, people might look different in person. I thought she was smaller than, I was expecting. Like, she was really tiny. Um, so yeah, so from there, sort of, we just we got to know ourselves physically.
Yeah.
And all that. She met my mom. I thought it was quite important for her to meet my mom as well. And I think we went on from there.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So in that so you've known each other for 5 years.
12 years.
Okay, so 12. So if you're counting the when you guys were teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when you reconnected, say 2017, then then you started like having that relationship, and the same year you guys started taking it further, 2017.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's 2017 to now. So yeah, okay, so I understand that timeline. You guys are really interesting. This is a really amazing story. I think one thing I'm curious now to know is, how did you know that this is someone you wanted to get married to? Like, what's that thing that you were looking out for in each other? Like, how were you able to pick? I will start with Dara and Samuel, because Dara, he said something about how, everything fell on his head, like literally all the lots was on, the favor of God just dropped on Samuel. What did you see? How did you know that this guy will be my husband? Yeah. I think I see it happening.
Okay, so it's a mix of the physical and the spiritual.
Okay.
So physically, initially I said it was not my spec.
Yes.
But then as time went on, I discovered that marriage is more than looking for spec. And lady spec now, all this stuff that are now some rich.
So rich, wanting this one.
Yeah, all those frivolous things you look out for are not the important. Those ones are important too.
I was going to say that these things are also, they still have their place.
Yes, they do. But then, there's something about priority.
Yeah.
You prioritize. There are some things that should be top list, while there are some that should come. So when you misplace priorities, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I misplaced my priorities, but I would say I was more matured in my choices. So I started seeing things in a more matured way. Started discovering what I really need and the things that really matter.
Okay.
And I started being futuristic, and not just for the moment. And then I started seeing the good part of, the husband part of him. So I guess before I was just playing around like, yeah, my friend. There's this thing about when you know someone so much and you're like,
yes, you just
no big
is
deal.
it not
Now,
just
you?
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So then I started becoming more serious, like,
Hmm.
okay, let me be more serious about this thing. Let me
Yeah.
not just push him away. Push him aside without like testing. I didn't even really test and like go in depth and all of that. So
Yeah.
I started going in depth. I started aligning with messages that I've been hearing, books I've been reading.
Yeah.
And then for the spiritual aspect, I wouldn't say I got a revelation or something in particular,
Yeah.
but then there's this prayer I always pray from time that God should like connect me with the right person.
Yeah.
And then when it got to a point where I told you I had a list, I had like 5
Yeah.
persons.
Yeah.
So when it got to that point, I prayed that God should scatter the wrong relationship.
Oh, I like this prayer. I've heard of it.
And then make the right one work. Because it got to a point where I was like, who should I pick? That sometimes when you don't pick someone or when someone is not your perfect match, doesn't mean they are bad.
Yeah.
It just means they are not like your perfect match. So they would be a perfect match for someone else. Yeah. So although these things some guys don't always understand this, because when you tell them no, they are like, why am I not good
why
enough?
did you reject me?
Why is the other person better? Is this? So it's not really about that. It's just about the perfect match for you. So I was like, okay, I don't want to pick based on sentiments. I don't want, sometimes like the Bible says that sometimes we don't even know what to pray for as we ought. We don't know the future. We only know now. And even the future we think we are projecting into is how far we know.
You can see.
God knows more. God knows what you have not even seen, what you have not met, and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's better you just ask God himself that knows the future and knows both of you. So be able to know that, okay, can these two work together for the future that is ahead of them? So I was like, if I should pick myself, I don't want something that in the future I'll not be like, hey, why didn't I pick? Or why did I I just prayed that the right one should work, and then the one that is not right for me, God should scatter it himself. Because if I might be sentimental and be like, this one he has this, he has that. I don't know the future. So I started seeing the prayer work, because there were times where some people were, there are some times maybe you've been friends with some people and you kind of pity them, like, if I tell this person no now, should not look as if, although me on my part, I don't lead people on and I don't chop your money. So I've had this independent mindset from a very young age. I don't depend on your money. I don't spend your money. If you want to take me out, I will not, because I don't want to start counting those things for me later on. so that it will look as if after taking you here, after buying you this and all of that. So I don't want that. So I don't lead you on. So I just tell you, okay, fine, we are friends. Like we can know each other, but I've not said yes. So that was the level that everybody was on. And then it got to a point my mom was like, okay, you're coming of age. What is I don't know, is there nobody, this, that, and this African mentality, give me their names, let's pray about it, let's go to the mountain.
Nothing wrong with that, please.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
For our mommies that may be watching this.
Yes, it's very good. It's very, because it's spiritual bit, so it's very, very important. So I gave her names of everybody. She already knows him out of everybody, because we've known from when we're little. So our family is new as well. So she was like, "Is it the same Samuel?" I said yes. She said, "Okay, really?" We're just see how it goes. So she took the names and she came with prophecies concerning each and every one.
Wow.
So it was now left to me. She wasn't forcing, like, you must pick this person. But she told me, okay, this prophecy about this. Then it's now left to me to decide who I want to go with. So I it was at that point I was serious about that prayer that God should make me, because I've had a lot of people that have different prophecies, and sometimes down the line you'll be like, I thought I had this prophecy, because prophecy might not end up even playing out at the end of the day. There's this auntie I have that she was told the person she wanted to marry had short lifespan. Like it doesn't have long it has short lifespan, like it's not likely to be long. So at the end of the day, they got married. They're still alive now. He's over 70, I guess. So if someone has short lifespan, I don't think 70 should be is short. So she ended up not following what she was told. She went ahead and married the person she wanted to marry. So I was like, no, I won't do with prophecies, because these prophecies were not had by me. It was prayers. Okay, so in a nutshell, the prayer just worked out, because the other ones, the ones I had enough strength to break myself, I did. But there were like one or two that I wasn't able to. God made those people break it.
Wow. Yeah.
So they were the one, it came from them, like, I'm not doing again. And I didn't feel pained. So it was now his own, we were distant, we were miles apart, but his own was working like, it was like,
wow.
It was, his own was really working and the others were not working. And then at the end of the day, I was like, oh God, is this how it is? And the other person, after I now settled with him, the other person wanted to come back.
Confusion. That's what the enemy likes to say.
Yeah.
Distraction.
So I was like, oh God, this can just only be you. So I didn't really get any vision or anything, but I just ended up seeing others not working and me and him working. And then at the end of the day, I didn't have any doubts. Even when people tell me, oh, do you know what he's doing over there? Do you know this? Do you know that? I have never been shaken. I've never had doubts. I've never lost my peace. So it's really more like a little here, a little there, not maybe a vision or something in particular, but I have this complete 100% peace of mind, confidence that it is him.
Honest, look, what you've really described to me here is how you applied faith to choose and decide on who you would marry. And there's this thing where you cannot please God unless you walk by faith. So even faith is applied in our courtship, in everyday life, including our romantic relationships. Isn't God amazing? Gosh, right. This is so. I would like to ask Bimbo and Wumi, anyone that would like to go for it. What made you know that this is the person that will marry? This is it.
Mom, would you like to go first?
Okay. So when Bimbo started coming every day, not like coming like messaging every day, not like messaging and not like disturbing me, sorry.
Yeah.
So I just decided, like, because for me, when a guy is coming around too much, I don't like to keep him around, just like Dara said. Just tell them, please, I don't know why you're calling me every day or messaging me every day. If it's friendship, let's give it small time. Message me.
Yeah. Straight to the point. No.
Yeah. So I felt like maybe God is just telling me something. So that afternoon, I think I was I was listening to one video. Was Nathaniel Bassi. It was about how his wife knew he was the one, that she went for a program, and the wife said that, God, if he's my husband, I want this pastor to just say his name anyhow. I don't know how you're going to, but the man should just mention Natalie Bassi. Okay. So, and the man was preaching. All of a sudden, the man just said Natalia. And she was like, the man now said his full name, Nathaniel Bassi. So the man continued like, I don't know why this name is coming to my mind. Maybe it's for somebody, but God told me to say it. So that was that he was her husband. So I was like, hey, so okay, this boy. He was never asking me out, but I was just saying, God, is this somebody I can even be with? Because okay, you know, when a guy is coming around, you actually know what he wants to say. He might not say it yet, but then you really know what.
Yeah, I think women have that sixth sense. You already know. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, let me just do what Nathaniel Bassey's wife did too. That maybe it's going to work for me, because how can someone just put his name like that? So I was like, so there's this devotional I received from a friend every day. Okay. I was like, God, if I can be with him, the reference to that devotional the next day, because I get it every day. He sends it every day. That I want it to be James, because his name is James.
Yes.
So I want it to be James. The devotional should be from the reference that done the next morning. So I woke up, I checked Dr. Bukayade's message that the devotional as usual. And God, it's not because I talked about it's a lie. It was just a quiz. I was like, so I said, God, if it's truly true, then that afternoon, so I think I was reading something about Gideon when he was telling God to give him confirmation if he's actually the one, put you on the floor, blah blah. You should not touch this.
Yeah, I was like, that reminds me of Gideon. Yeah.
So I was like, God, I really do this thing, but this one I don't believe. Let's try another one. So I was like, God, as I'm going to, when I get to school, I want somebody to call his name too. Okay. Then I went to school. Then I was just sitting down waiting for a teacher, and somebody just said James. I didn't even remember. The person called James again. I was like, James again? I said, I don't believe this one. They just just James. I don't believe. And I was like, God, we'll do it again, no, because this one I think. So I was like, God, it was on a Sunday then. I was like, what? Because my pastor then will call them dad. What dad is going to preach about today? I even gave God the chapter and the verse. I want it to reference to the James 1:2. And daddy started preaching, was like open to James 1:2. I said it's a lie. No, I can't believe this again. So I told God again that, if I can do this, then I think it felt like I was not believing. So it stuck, and I never got anything after those 3. So I just felt like, okay, I think I'll just go with the confirmations I've gotten. And even before I started praying, like Bimbo kind of have the same, or we think alike.
Okay.
Like I've met a lot of people, a lot of guys. You all actually know how they think. You don't think the same way. You don't believe in the same thing. We kind of had the same and still have the same thing in common. So I kind of felt comfortable with him because it was different from other guys I've met. The way he, I don't know, everything about him was different. So that was when I even decided to even pray about it, because me, I don't waste my time. Once I even know, me, I don't like this one, you like going to this one. Don't know. I know we are not together. Bye-bye. So when I realized that we had things in common, so that was when I decided to pray. And those were the 3 confirmations I got. Copying Nathaniel Bassey's wife.
Yeah.
And Gideon in the Bible. That was...
Wow. And I love how God works with, like, as far as you've conceived it in your heart, you have the faith to act on it. If that is what you worked with, God will work with you, and he will show you and confirm to you. That's amazing. This is a remarkable story. Thank you so much for sharing. I would love to ask the guys, because I just noticed now that it's both the ladies I've asked, but you know what? You have your turn in the next question. Is that fair? So that we don't spend too long here. But my next question now is, during that courtship, how did you guys stay committed, loving each other without being distracted by, all the things going around? Because now from what I get from both my couples here today, you guys have had, to endure some, long distance, so there was some long distance here and there, and whilst you were courting as well. So what are the challenges there? How did you stay committed to each other and what you guys were hoping to build? Because I mean, relationships today, long distance, a lot of people are scared of that because, well, you don't even have to be away from each other. A lot of people have problems even when they're in the same place, staying committed to, this other significant other. So yeah, that's my question. I will start with Bimbo.
All right. So I think I'll follow up from what Dara said earlier on about people making certain comments about, do you know what that person is doing? And I cite that example because in our cases, it was for both couples, it was kind of long distance at some point, right?
Yeah.
And so very quickly, well, if I don't know, I didn't get pressured, I didn't get much talk from my parents about, okay, what do you want to do next and all that. It was sort of me initiating, so I didn't have that pressure. But once I started talking with my wife, I know there were times when she would open up and say, people think they're not taking us seriously. They're not taking me very seriously. I think, like once we realized that we weren't messing about with each other, we just resolved in our minds to stay committed. I give, kudos to my wife because she literally had to block out a lot of voices. And the thing is, it will be people close to you as well.
Oh yeah. Out of concern.
Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. Sometimes it's just out of a place of concern, but then, it's not what you want to hear. And then maybe you go out, you see your friends, in relationships and all of that. That's a distraction, right? That's a distraction aspect of it. But I think in terms of the distraction side of things now, once we're committed, it was basically us just working towards our goals, right?
Yeah.
She had her individual goals, I had mine, and we're working towards it. And then we found out at points would support each other, right? So I'd encourage her, she would encourage me, and that just kept us going. And us seeing that we could actually, meet our goals, meet our targets. Again, these are the kind of things you look for in relationships that sort of give you an indication of what the future might be like. I think let me just stop there and
wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's an important thing right there. I'm very curious. What were you? So you guys, in the absence of being physically together, you guys used your energy and turned it into working on your personal goals, right?
Yeah.
And then syncing it to each other. Because I can imagine if you guys had things in common, then surely there were some things that you were doing that she might have found interesting and vice versa. So you were supporting each other in that. And then in that way, you guys were blossoming. Your relationship was blossomed through the things that you guys were chasing together.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that covered for the distance.
Yes. Yes. And it makes it so again with having goals as well, that at this point I'm closer to our dream of being together, right? So for example, I was in Aberdeen for a while. Throughout that time, there were times where I literally wanted to quit. Right. And it was this lady that was here, right, just telling me anyone could have said anything, right? Anyone could have said anything, but it was this lady, the words from her that was sort of pushing me. And at the same time, there was a time where, she was going for professional exams and stuff. And, she had setbacks through no fault of hers. Again, that time, having someone to go through the time to encourage you, I can imagine for her was good. So again, the end point, we had it in mind. So it made that distance it closed it a little bit. Where you'd have wanted a shoulder to cry on, you didn't get a shoulder, but at least you have someone with comforting words.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, no man is an island, right?
No.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing here is clarity. You guys had clarity, and you can't have clarity without a goal, a vision, a picture, an image of what you are moving to achieve. And with that clarity, that made, no matter what the distance was, it made what you guys were aiming for easier. All right. Cool. Thank you so much. So I would like to ask Samuel now. Samuel, same question goes for you. During that courtship, how did you stay committed to your wife now, Dara? And what are the things you guys did to, to prevent being distracted from whatever was going around you?
Thank you for that answer, Bimbo. That's really key. I think I'd like to take it off from there to say that even though we were in a sort of a long distance relationship at some point, saying things or communicating what you meant, your intentions, and making sure the other person at the other side understand your intention is really key. And just like Bibo had said, this means that you are passing on information that, see, I will support you no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Even before marriage. And the other person is saying I will support you. I mean, you could have imagined if I'm saying, I want to quit this thing is not, I'm like, quit now. It's nothing, you can always just quit. And if that person is coming from who is supposed to be your partner, then you should have some thought about it. The little support we get here and there, I think it goes for us as well. And just to go about saying how did we stay committed? This for me always goes back to Christ.
Okay.
Christ is our foundation. And even in the world of confusion as it may seem right now, as long as it was Christ that established our relationship and our marriage, we made Christ the center of it. So if that's the case for us, then staying loyal, the Bible says that it is required of a steward to be faithful. It's not an option. It's a requirement of a steward, of a child of God, to stay faithful. And if that's the case, being faithful to God in the first instance is what I look for in myself. It's what I yearn to attain. And once I can attain that, then I can confidently say to myself, actually, I can be faithful to a human. I can be faithful to my wife to be, or my fiancé. And me knowing that no matter what comes, in fact, I have many stories. And I remember sometime a lady walked up to me and she said, I know your fiancé is not around. Yeah, and she said, anytime, just call me.
What?
Yeah. And
some people, there are some men that don't have energy to resist that.
Oh God, free, everything free. And I'm like, okay, that time I didn't know what to say. I was just dumbfounded because I never expected such a response, such a comment. But just to put it right, that and not just to take credit for myself, it's God. The Bible says, "Your word have I hid in my heart, so that I will not sin against you."
Amen.
So, just to round up and say that once we can stay faithful to God and understand that the base of our relationship, the center of our relationship is Christ. The Bible says the head of the man is Christ. Whether you're female or the male, irrespective, the head of the man is Christ. So once you can stay faithful to Christ, then I believe it's going to be easier to stay faithful to your partner. As long as it's God's words that say you should be faithful. I'll leave it at that. So.
Honestly, okay, so I'm learning from you now, communicating, making your intentions clear. Oh, I'm going to say this again, because I think what's happening in today's society is we're allowing situationships become relationships. Making and stating it clear. Ladies, if this guy has not said it clearly, it's not a thing. Guys, if she did not say yes, she didn't tell you yes, she didn't look you in the eyes and say yes, you're wasting your time. Maybe you're still initiating. Then know that you're initiating. Don't deceive yourself that you're in a relationship with someone that's not said yes. There are some ladies that know how to string people along. Protect your heart, guys. So make it clear. Communicate. Write the vision down. Make it plain. So there's no confusion, right? And then finally, let God be the center of your relationship. I was saying to someone, and rightfully, I was saying that, some guys wouldn't have been able to resist that kind of advance, and he didn't take credit for it, and rightly so, because all of us could have fallen to that kind of free pass. It takes the precious Holy Spirit to convict us and to discipline our bodies and say, no, this is wrong, and I'm not going to take this free pass because I know what I'm trying to achieve here, and what we're trying to achieve is greater. And so I just want to thank God for your life. Thank God for the family that God is building in the Ogunwale household. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for your honesty. This has been so interesting, and for everyone watching, I hope you're enjoying this. And I love having conversations like this. You learn so much from a different perspective because everybody is so different and everybody has a different take and a different experience, and you're constantly learning. If you have any questions or have any comments, please feel free to leave them down at the comment box, and maybe next week we'll come and review them again and we'll talk about it. Feel free to leave questions as well. I can also go through some questions if there is time. Okay, wonderful. So my next question now is, now you're married, what are the changes that are happening? What's happened? What are the changes you're experiencing now you're married? What's so different now? You're married versus being single. So I will start with Samuel and Dara. I would like both of you to say. So what are the differences and changes you're seeing now that you're married with each other?
Would you like to go first? I think one of the major things is Mr. and Mrs. That was the first one. It was weird.
Feels different too.
It felt different when they called you when they said Mr. and Mrs. As a married person. And a few other things are finances. Oh, my money is our money, which is our money, but the practicality of it. So even though sometimes we may have in mind, oh, it's her money, but sometimes my wife still says, oh, it's your money. Or me, I still say sometimes, oh, maybe just, do this, do that with your money. So having that realization that now we are married, we are two, or we are one, and every other thing which we're doing becomes one.
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
You may get surprised how much time is actually dedicated to the other person. Once you're married, the time you're dedicating to each other is enormous. It's a lot of time. And that, even though, yes, as long distance relationship, we're used to that. But as married couples now, it even takes a step further than that. Any other thing that's changing?
No, not really.
No.
I think that's about all the change in address.
Change of address. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Time. Attention.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We are more of attention seekers. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I hit my leg on the door or something happened yesterday, and I shouted. I was like, ouch. And then he was in the bathroom, and I was thinking, normally he would have come and said, oh, sorry, what happened? And he didn't do that. So from the bathroom, he was saying, oh, babe, sorry, what happened? And I didn't say anything. So when he came to the room, I was like, yeah, beginning to change. If it's before, whatever you are doing, you will leave it and come and say, what happened to you? one of the reasons that made me exaggerate the shouts. It wasn't really painful, actually, but just the attention thing, you know. If it was the distance, as in courtship, you know that if you like shout it tomorrow, it's just over the phone and say
yes.
sorry. Yeah, but now physically, so the change is more attention. I'm trying to draw more attention. He's also trying to draw more attention, touchy, and all of that. And then Mrs. this, Mrs. that.
Yeah.
Like that, the way they keep calling you Mrs. keeps sinking it in that they're married.
Yeah.
And one last thing is
to the transition from being, one single unit to now being a whole system unit.
I would say that the last thing to that is the obligation which you have towards family, outside of the family.
Yeah.
Because even though they were there, they've been there, but now you've got an obligation to make sure that you call them, you check on them once in a while, and just that family around you to support you and all that. So that's another thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Indeed. And that's priceless. You can't buy that anywhere. It's your family, Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. So yes. So now
I would like to say though, not for this question, for the previous question that I answered about being committed.
Yeah.
About staying committed. There was something he said about someone making advance to him.
Yeah.
And I would say that a way in which that plays out to being committed is, the God factor is that there are things that either you're in relationship or not, you would not do because you're a child of God.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's there's this thing Joseph did when Potiphar's wife wanted to sleep with him.
Yes.
So he ran away because the first thing he said is, how will I do this to God?
Yeah.
How will I sin against God? So being committed to someone first is being committed to God. If you can be committed to God, and as in you don't do these things because you are imagining how God will feel about you doing it, then before imagining how your partner will feel about you doing it. So it makes it a bit easier to stay committed to that person by staying committed to God. So these things you don't do because you would not want to offend God. Then you don't want to offend this person. There are some persons that are in relationships, but then they still allow these free trips around. So they are not being committed to even God because they are disobeying God. You get
what God says,
It's like a combo. You disobey God, then you offend your partner. But when you are committed to God, you are not doing this thing because it is wrong and God does not like it. Then it's easier for you to now stay committed to that
your partner. Perfect. Yes, very understandable. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Bimbo and Omawumi, let's hear your stories. What are the changes that have happened so far? Transiting from being married to, being single to being married. Excuse me. Yeah.
I think, babe, do you want to go first?
No, you go first this time.
All right. I think one of the things that gets overlooked a lot is the fact that, and this was pointed out to us through counseling, I cannot recommend enough the need for both singles, couples, and intending couples and married couples to, subject themselves to that learning process.
Did I hear you say for singles as well? Did you say singles?
Yes, even singles.
Really?
Yeah.
I would like you to speak more on that after this question.
Even singles, yeah, because there are things that when you're aware of beforehand, it sharpens your vision. Right? It sharpens your vision. So even if it's not counseling, just being open to counsel from married couples or being under married couples. But I was going to say, one of the things that was pointed out to us was the fact that you are two individuals, right? You've lived your lives separately. You have in most cases you have different upbringings, right? This has gone into the kind of person, your character, your attitude, how you see life, how you view life. And so when you become married, there's a tendency that there might be clashes, right, with certain things. But it's like with anything else in life. There's an adjustment process. And what blew my mind was, okay, when we were being told about this, I thought, okay, initially when I get into marriage, there will be an adjustment phase and we have to get used to my wife will probably pick me up on this, but how you leave your shoes, how you wash your spoon, these little things, right? I mean, these little things matter to some people and they don't matter to the other person, right?
Yeah.
But it could cause conflict if you allow it. So at first I thought, okay, when we get married, maybe there'll be like a 6 months, 1 year, when we have to learn how this person likes to do things and how this person, for example, the toothpaste thing. Do you press from the bottom or do you just squeeze it from? See, I squeeze it from the bottom, but my wife, anyhow, right? In fact, we don't like to use the same toothpaste, right? So, I mean, imagine going shopping, right? This is the adjustment phase. But what blew my mind was the fact that it doesn't end.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't end. It's literally, it goes all the way through. So, yes, as soon as you get used to each other, you get a routine. Then before you know it, maybe children come in, right? And then you have to adjust to that. You used to have time for just the two of you. Now you need time for, God bless you if you start with twins. Now you need time for two extra people. You get, and then adjusting to work. Changes in career, changes, so many changes. So what when you get into, one of the things you need to watch out for is obviously the adjustments that you need to make, and in subjecting yourself to I mean, wanting to get married and all that, you need to be ready to make those adjustments as they come. And life is in season, so God will always help us as long as we rely on His Holy Spirit to lead us through.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much. Wumi, do you have anything to say as a follow-up?
Not really.
Okay. All right. So I think Bimbo's covered all grounds for you.
Yeah.
Right. I think honestly, what I've really picked up from here is remember that when you enter into this institution of marriage, you now need to start getting used to that transition of being single and changing your mindset about being just fending for yourself to now you're fending for two people or more people. It's like you become one. And you don't just become one in just your body, no. It's your finances, it's your space, your attention, time, every single thing becomes one. And, for some people who, like myself, I just really like my space. I know that this would be something that, I would have to transition in with grace, by the grace of God. But wow, thank you guys so much. And what I really like about all of these comments is that, it's very relatable. Like I can begin to imagine and see where, things I can learn from. You guys are really relatable and I really, really, really appreciate that. Well, my next question now is, you've gone through this wedding process before. So maybe you can advise a lot of people here who are planning about to maybe 1 year, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, thinking about weddings. Any tips? What should we do, in preparation for, what was your wedding preparation like? What were the things you had to tell yourself in the preparation phase, financial wise, preparation wise, speaking to parents wise, that the whole bulk of that? What was preparing for the wedding like? and any tips that you can give us, in hindsight. Maybe we'll start with Samuel and Dara. Someone is coffee. Bimbo is drinking water.
Interesting one. And as young guys, I think probably Bimbo was also be able to identify with this. It's a lot of money. Let's put it out there. So you you get it.
Hey, do you know
If
that
you don't get it, forget about it.
Get some guys to commit. Yeah, it's like, hey,
don't be
I'm not
scared.
in the financial area now.
Yeah. It's a lot of money, and I would advise that. I mean, this was some advice that was given to me. Don't borrow to do it.
Do what you can.
Do what you can, and promise yourself. This was a very big one for me. Promise yourself you'll enjoy your wedding no matter what.
Amen.
No matter how it goes, no matter what happens on that day, you will enjoy your wedding no matter what. Because things happen. And I will let my wife, just say some things, but things happens, and so that you won't be sad. Oh, I saw the way they did it on Instagram. The world is full of show. The world. I mean, it's all rehearsed. So don't do so much at people on Instagram and people on Twitter and everything. Oh, see, I love the way they did their they decorated their hall, and don't kill yourself.
Bella Niger.
Wedding of the decade.
Exactly. Now the guys that they talk to now, don't kill yourself on top. Start telling your woman, I mean, if you're looking forward to it, and start putting some caution in place so that you won't commit to what you know is gonna stress you financially. There's still a lot of money to be spent after wedding.
Yeah.
So commit to things that are realistic and start to speak. If your wife is that one that wants a lot of things, and start bringing, this is one of the reasons why we need to have a mentor. A mentor is really, really key. And even after going through counseling, that having a mentor will help you, guide some expenses. Okay, this is what we want to do. How do we go about this? So I'm just putting out there just for the guys to know. I will let my wife finish the rest.
Okay.
Just things to look out for.
Yeah.
Things to look out for. First of all, don't have too much expectations. Just do
your expectations.
Be known among to all men. So be moderate. If you can, by all means, get an event planner. So that, by all means. Or if you can't afford, you don't have to get an expensive event plan. It can be someone minimal, or maybe a family member that can dedicate their time to helping you dot the T's cross the T's and dot the I's. Because some persons are maybe working and you don't have all the time to remember everything. So you need someone to help you, do all these things. So as much as possible, if you can afford it, you can get an event planner. If not, get someone to assist. And as well, have it at the back of your mind that whether you like it or not, one thing or the other will go wrong. Like my husband said, put it in mind that you should enjoy the day, whatever happens. He was able to pull through. I wasn't. Because some things happened. This wedding idea is like the woman's day.
Yeah.
So when one thing or the other starts going wrong, you start being like, oh, this is not what I imagined. This is not. Not. And then I shed a tear on my wedding day, and it was very bad because there were some things that were happening. I was like, no, this is not. This is not. And then people started, when people start telling you don't cry, that's when you now cry. So I actually wished there were not friends around to tell me don't cry, because I was already feeling like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And they were like, don't worry, calm down, everything will be fine. No, don't cry, don't spoil your makeup, don't spoil. And then that's when it just came down, and then they were like, no, don't worry, leave everybody. Let's anything that happens, just concentrate on yourself and everything. So no matter what, one thing or the other would not go, because you can't be everywhere at the same time. You might put someone different to man different things, and then something will go wrong here or there. You can't be everywhere. So don't kill yourself. Just try as much as he enjoyed every bit of it, even though he knew things were going wrong. Everything that was getting to me was getting to him too. But he made up his mind that nothing will shake him. He was smiling and everything. Me, there was a time I was not really so happy, and then it's like people started noticing, and then why is your wife not smiling? And he was not giving me twice. I'm like, and then later I realized, man, this is your wedding day just once, and that's the end.
Only one day,
I had to talk myself into, okay, just forget about what has happened.
Yeah.
There's something that happened that what made me say that as much as possible, get an event planner, is because, when I was planning my own wedding, I didn't have the luxury of lots of people or persons around to help. Most of my friends were not in the States. In where the wedding is going to take. So there's little to the help they could render. My siblings, and also I was majorly the one having to do, and it was not around. So there was a lot of things to be done, and then at the end of the day, you probably forget one thing or the other and remember at 9 minutes and all of that. So it made some things get into rush hour and a lot of things. So I would just say, if you can't get an event planner, get someone that would ask you, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that?
Yeah.
You are maybe a makeup artist. I'm a baker. I make cakes. So I wanted to make the cake.
Okay, so you bake as well?
Yes, I bake. I ended up making the cake actually, but then something else had to suffer. My brother's shower. I couldn't, because the cake, I couldn't make it long before the wedding. So I did it like 2 days and a day before. So at the end of the day, there was really no time. By the time I got to the hotel, everybody was tired, and we're like, we'll just do one small thing in the morning. And that never works, because in the morning, makeup takes like forever.
Yes.
That was how I had everything I needed for my brother's shower, but we didn't have it.
We didn't have the time,
Yeah, there was no time. So if it's something you can, even though you can make it, and even though it will save you cost, if there's someone that can still do something minimal for you at little cost, just to give it out so that you have all your time and all be relaxed and everything. Make sure everything is, as in start planning. If it's 6 months to now, start planning now. If it's a year to now, there's nothing wrong with your wedding gown being ready 2 months to your wedding. So don't plan it like a month to, or because anything can go wrong at any time. So at the end of the day, I think it's just more like plan early, dispatch lots of duties to people as much as you can, so that they can help you to remember whatever is left out, and then make sure you enjoy the day, because it will not come again. That's just the day. So even if things are going not the way you planned, just try. It's not easy, especially for ladies. I would really say it's not easy, but try as much as possible to just enjoy the day. As in, the one you can enjoy it. After the day, you can now start crying about what did not happen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
It's not as if it didn't go well.
So,
it's not as if it didn't go well. It was very nice.
Probably went fantastic, but there is. I absolutely relate, especially when you're an artist, you're creative, and you set out to achieve something, and it just didn't. But I saw the pictures. You guys looked amazing. So I'm sure the wedding went fantastic. But I think it's one thing to tell yourself that regardless of what happens, so it's a mindset, and make sure you enjoy that day no matter what. For the guys, not just for the guys, let's just put it out there for both of you. Make sure that you put on key. In fact, if you want to budget now. Agree. This is what I would like to spend. Don't assume. Don't live finances to assumptions.
And don't borrow. Never borrow.
And don't borrow. Work
Yeah.
with what you have. Work with your means. If your means is a large one, good for you. But also remember that you have a life after the wedding day. Right. Fantastic. So thank you so much. So Eba, Wumi, what are your tips and advice for preparing for wedding? For the wedding day in hindsight?
Mommy, please.
I will. I think I had the same problem or the same things happened. First and foremost, I'll say, don't choose your vendors without recommendation from somebody you know.
Oh,
yes.
She's going specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it affected us, especially our events planner. And don't choose any vendor. Don't allow sentiments, because it also affected me, because when we're doing counseling, it was like, we should try as much as possible to get for all our vendors to be Christians and everything, blah, 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 like that. So I started searching for a Christian engager we got. Then I was searching for a Christian event planner. Later, I got. But I noticed I didn't get recommendation from anybody I know.
Oh.
Because on the event, the day of our wedding, she didn't show up. She only sent coordinators to our wedding on both days. Why? Because she said she had a program. Yes. Okay. You might be a Christian, yeah. Because I was saying, if I chose someone else, yeah, it might have gone better. But she actually went for the church program. It's not like she wasn't lying. But then, this is also a lesson to some of us that are Christian and we are entrepreneurs and everything. Excuse me. Don't choose anybody based on, maybe what I saw on Instagram, because our page on Instagram is superb. Like,
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah. But don't choose anybody without getting any recommendation from anybody you even know. Don't even ask somebody or maybe a comment section that, please, is this person okay? Is that person okay?
Yeah. Always seek for recommendation and reviews so that
especially your event.
Yeah.
I don't know how my partner will not show up on my wedding day telling me she went for a church program. She actually did. And what I'll say about that is that, God, when we are trying to work for God, we should not forget to work with God, because my perspective changed. She's a good Christian, but how will you give what you have collected money for and go for your church program? It's not bad that you went for your church program, but then how will I feel? I chose you because you're a Christian. You're still following Christ, but you neglected what you were paid for, which is not good. We should also learn from that as Christians.
Yes.
So
thank you so much, Wumi. Thank you so much. That is a sound lesson that we need to learn. And to be honest, I can imagine it's not funny, especially for the bride on the day. Thank you so much, Wumi, and we'll definitely keep that into account. And I'm glad this is being recorded so that people can understand that these are the things that happen when you're preparing. So if this is you 1 year, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years down the line, prepare your mind, okay? You can hear now from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Have you got more points other than the first one to say?
A lot. So, and again, I have so much expectation because there was a way I wanted the hall to look like.
Yes.
There was a kind of decoration I wanted. Everything started even when I was engaged. Immediately I entered, I was just sad. I looked at my
So babe, not to cut you short there. I think it's very good to manage expectations, right? So I put in the chat, I don't know if that would show up, but plan for the best that you can afford and expect the worst, right? Expect things would go wrong. Not that you want them to go wrong.
Comment here. Plan for the best and prepare.
But you pray along with that and just pray that things go. But the thing is, yes, like Dara, my wife was emotional on that day. Maybe she didn't shed a tear, but and I told her about this. I said, you know what? It's our day. At the end of this, see, if me and you, if nobody is coming, if I carry you reach altar, if they're enjoying us, if we don't even go to reception, it doesn't matter, right? So I think sometimes we place a lot of emphasis on, at the end of the day, right, what is important? The important thing is that you have your parents' blessings.
Yes.
If there are any cultural, traditional things you have to do,
Yeah.
as your faith permits it, go through all that and go to the altar, get blessed, get joined together, whatever the terminology might be. And every other thing is a nice to have. In life, we have to understand what is a must have and what is a nice to have. If you mix up something that is a must have with a nice to have, there will be problem. So for example, yes, your hall looking nice, looking beautiful, exactly as you had planned on the mood board, the right lighting in this angle. That's a nice to have, right? But a must have is that you must have a hall, or you must have somewhere people will sit down. At the end of the day, people will not remember whether the light was shining on your from the front or from the back. At the end of the day, people will complain, no matter how much you feed them, that they did not get saved or they did not eat enough. But these are things that you need to manage the expectations.
Yeah.
And like it's been said, don't go above budget. See, agree. This is, for me, I told my wife, even like right at the beginning of planning, that this is like our first test together. You'll be tested, you'll be pushed, right? So we need to agree. Even where parents will say, no, this is what must happen, and the other one says, this is what must happen. At the end of the day, if you allow the influence of parents, to have too much effect on what you want or what is happening, it can spoil the day. But God will grant us the wisdom to be able to navigate these issues.
Amen. So it seems like starting from the wedding day is the test for the marriage starts.
From the moment you start planning. See, just prepare to, but agree between the two of you that nothing will come against.
No
as long
matter
as you've
what,
agreed, you've decided to get married and all that. Don't allow external forces, right, to derail you.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your genuine and candid expression of the questions, and really much appreciated. And you may not know this, but people are learning. You may not know this, but people are seriously taking notes, like me. So God bless you guys. I really appreciate it. Our time is really, really fast spent. But before you guys go, I wanted to shoot out a few keywords, and I wanted to see if both couples can ponder on these words and see how that has reflected in their marriage that they are experiencing right now. So Bimbo and Omomi, how long have you been married now?
Almost 5 months.
5 months. And Samuel and Dara, how long have you been married now?
Exactly 1 year and 2 months.
2 months. Wonderful. So that being said, I'm going to throw out a keyword, ponder on it, and then if you have a story to share or something, you can, if it's shareable, something that you can, to help us to see how that has reflected or how that has played out, in the marriage. You understand what I mean when I say the words. So I will start with Samuel and Dara. Forgiveness. How's that shown itself in your relationship and in your marriage?
I would say we will always, not always, don't let me say always, we will sometimes make mistakes. That's a given. We are not perfect. and one time or the other we'll offend each other.
Mm.
But the goal is this. The Bible says, husbands, love your wife.
Mm-hmm.
From a man's perspective, no matter what my wife does, no matter what she does, mine is to follow what God has said.
Mm.
And I always just want to love her. And when you love someone, love is patient, love is kind.
Yeah.
Love forgives.
Yeah.
And love doesn't remember what you've done in the past and bring it, to your face. So I think that's how forgiveness for me has been playing out.
Mm.
And for my wife as well, I think I can speak for her to say that.
No, sorry. I know you're one. I know we are one, yeah, but please, can I ask for the second one to speak for herself? Mm-hmm.
Well, like he has already said,
Mm-hmm.
everything he said, I agree with. And the only thing I would like to add is the fact that usually what makes it easy for me to let go of things is the fact that I understand that I'm not perfect the way he's not perfect.
Yeah.
So the way I'm trying to, forgive and let go of stuff is the same way he's also trying to do the same for me.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier for me to let go of things because I understand he's also, doing same for me, because assuming one person is perfect, then the other person will always be at the mercy of of the perfect person. But understanding that we are both not perfect, there are a lot of things, this thing about expectations. There are a lot of things you expect that, you should have done this, you should have done that. And then I understand that he also has the same about me. Bless you. So it makes me, it makes it easy for me to, and I wouldn't say we offend each other most times because I don't know. I think God has really helped us that we don't quarrel often. We don't take things too serious. We don't allow things to get out of hand first before solving it. So once we start talking and we're already sensing that this is already getting heated, and we'll caution ourselves and you can always agree to disagree. You can always disagree, but still meet at a middle point. So when he's already looking as if he's turning to fight, now caution each other. We don't have to fight about this thing. Just, okay, this is your opinion about it. This is my opinion about it. And then when it comes to, accommodating the other person, you just try to let go because the person is also enduring something from your side.
Oh yeah.
For me on my own part.
Yeah. And just to finally add to that, the goal is to stay together.
Yes.
Divorce is no option because
option taken out of the way.
Yeah. At the end of the day, unforgiveness is a spirit. Once it starts, it begins to burrow deep and deep and deep. And you don't want that in a marriage.
Yeah.
Well, by what we've been listening to and hearing and all the preachings and all that. So the goal is to stay together. The goal is to stay loving. The goal is to have this harmony and have that dream marriage you've always dreamt of. So in order to have that, any other thing that would allow you not to have, just keep
it away. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. And Bimbo and Wumi, the word I have here for you, sacrifice.
Go on.
You go. I'm thinking about.
Okay. Sacrifice. For God to Lord you, that is sacrifice. No. I think in our relationship, we had to understand that something has to give, something has to give at some point. And you can't always have it all. So, there's going to be competing forces, pressure from left, right, and center. And sometimes it just comes down to sacrifice. I remember a time when we were in different time zones, and it was about 6 hours, right? Minus 6 hours. And my wife, my girlfriend, I don't know what the term is now. But my wife now would, stay up later, so she could, speak to me,
Wow.
regardless of whether she had work or had anything to do, or I would
Yeah.
wake up early. So sacrifice, we just had to spend time, talk, catch up. So yeah, if that meant, one person not getting enough sleep, yes, so be it. Um, when it comes to finances as well, sacrifice, sacrifice. And I think, you know, again with family, with marriage, your family expands. So you're coming from one family, she's coming from one family, but then once you two join, there's an extended family, right? So if you have siblings, for example, you might have to, at least be there for them, support them. Parents support parents and all that kind of thing. So yeah, sacrifice. And
Yeah.
and I guess there is no true love without sacrifice.
Yeah.
There is no true love without sacrifice. And God exemplifies that for us. The Bible shows us many examples of that, and Christ is one. So
Thank you so much. Thank you, people. Wumi, any words?
Yeah, it's almost like what Bimbo said. Like, okay, staying up to talk to him, like when he was in Canada. And like I remember when I was in school too, I'm a doctor, Bimbo is an accountant. So there'll be times where I can't study alone. He doesn't really know how to help me.
Yeah.
He'll be like, tell me the topic, I'll go and read about it. Then we can discuss. And I'm like, how are you supposed to understand it? Just let me read about it and you can study with me. You can be like the teacher and I'll be like the student. You'll be telling me what I have to know. So it was always ready to help, even though he might not be able to help, but he's still willing to help. Then also, I also study with him, even though I don't understand anything about accounting or management. So it's just about sacrifice anyway.
Yeah, sacrificing your time, resources just for the betterment of the other person and vice versa. This is amazing. This works so well as a final last word in order to wrap up today's segment. Couples chat, we should have this more often. I really, really enjoyed myself. And, it's coupled with the fact that two of these young men here, I've been friends with them and we've sat and talked, but this is the first time I'm able to see the dynamic with their relationship with their wives. And I met them while they were still courting. So guys, don't think this is some fable or this is like tall story. Live and direct, I was there and now they're married. So me too. It's possible. It's possible for you as well. It's funny, but you know what? That has been Sunday Night Live Couples Chat. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them down on the comment section. We'll come back to it. And I hope you enjoyed it. Share this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And in the meantime, have a good evening. And God bless you all for joining me in this conversation. Bye.